Hey and welcome again. Today, we'll tell you the incredible story of a girl who unknowingly rescued a swan, and 2 years later, the swan returned with a gift. If you're new to this channel, subscribe to this channel and check the playlist to watch more real stories. There was a girl named Alice. She had always been a bright student and lived up to her father's expectations. She worked hard in school and always did her best to achieve her goals. But when she graduated from university, something unexpected happened. Instead of working in the city or pursuing a career, she returned to her village and decided to raise fish with her father. At first, her father, Tim, was not happy with her decision. He had always wanted her to do something more ambitious and make something of herself. But Alice was determined to pursue her passion for aquaculture, which she had studied as a major in university. She knew there was a lot of potential for fish farming in their area, and she wanted to help her father in the village by supporting the fish pond. Alice was determined to make it work despite her father's initial reluctance. She spent hours every day working on the fish pond, ensuring the fish were healthy and well-fed. She also spent time researching new techniques and technologies for fish farming, and she worked hard to improve the overall efficiency of the pond. Over time, her father began to see the value in what she was doing. He saw that the fish pond was becoming more productive and that Alice was truly passionate about her work. He began to understand that this was not just a hobby for her but a genuine career choice. Alice continued to work hard on the fish pond with her father's support. She was able to make it one of the most successful fish farms in the area, and she was able to provide for her family and support her father. Despite her challenges, Alice was always determined to pursue her passion and make a difference in her community. She showed that with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. One day, while Alice was tending to the fish pond, she heard strange noises coming from the water plants. She was immediately curious and wondered if something was trying to break into the pond to eat the fish. As she approached the water, she saw that it was a gray duck with its legs tangled in the water plants. Without hesitation, Alice pulled the water plants off of the duck's legs and carefully carried them back to her home. When her father, Tim, saw her coming back with the gray duck, he was immediately angry. He couldn't understand why she had brought it back and didn't want to keep it as a pet. But Alice explained that she had found the duck in the water and that it was too small to survive. She felt that it was her duty to take care of the little duck and ensure it was safe. Her mother, who always supported Alice, saw the situation differently. She saw the little duck as a sign of good luck and wanted to take care of it. She suggested they name the duck Lulu and keep it as a pet. Despite his initial reluctance, Tim eventually came around to the idea of keeping Lulu as a pet. He saw how much Alice and her mother cared for the little duck, and he couldn't help but feel a sense of affection for it as well. Together, the three of them began to take care of Lulu, feeding it vegetable chops and making sure it was well-fed and healthy. Lulu became an integral part of their family as the days went by. They would often find her waddling around the fish pond, following Alice as she tended to the fish. They would laugh as Lulu would try to catch the fish with her beak, only to be gently shooed away by Alice. Lulu became a source of joy and entertainment for the family, and they were happy to have her in their lives. Overall, Lulu's arrival at their family was a surprise but a pleasant one. It taught Alice and her family that sometimes, the best things happen when you least expect them and that taking care of something or someone can bring you happiness and joy. They were grateful to have Lulu as a pet and loved her very much. Alice was excited to bring her pet little duck, Lulu, to the fish pond. She thought Lulu would love to eat the fish and have a great time in the water. But to her surprise, Lulu only ate duckweed and aquatic plants. Alice was relieved that Lulu wasn't eating her fish, and she started to allow Lulu to play in the water more. But then something interesting happened. Lulu started catching small fish and bringing them to Alice as a gift. As Lulu grew, Alice's mother noticed something strange about the duck. She told Alice that Lulu didn't look like a duck. Alice squatted down and examined Lulu, wondering if it was a swan. But she wasn't sure, so she sent a picture of Lulu to her college friend who majored in animal husbandry. To Alice's surprise, her friend told her that Lulu was a black swan, but it wasn't fully grown yet, and its hair was still gray. Alice was shocked. She had no idea that she was feeding a black swan. After consulting with her friend, Alice ultimately contacted the staff, and they took Lulu away as she wasn't fully sure about keeping it as a pet. They took Lulu to an ecological garden where the environment would be suitable for its growth. Although Alice was sad to see Lulu go, she knew that it was the best thing for Lulu, and she was happy that Lulu would have a better life in the ecological garden. Alice learned a valuable lesson from this experience. She realized that sometimes, things aren't always what they seem, and it's important to be informed and educated about the animals we care for. She was grateful for her friend's expertise and for the staff who helped her with Lulu. She knew that Lulu would be happy and healthy in its new home. Overall, Alice's experience with Lulu was a memorable one. She had fun taking care of the little duck and was happy to see it grow. She was surprised when she found out that Lulu was a black swan, but she was happy that Lulu could live in an environment suitable for its growth. She took this experience as a learning opportunity and was happy that Lulu was safe. One day, Alice was out at the pond measuring the water temperature when she spotted something familiar. Lulu, her favorite swan, was back. It had been a few months since she had seen Lulu, and she was overjoyed. But something seemed different about Lulu this time. His feathers were black, and he wasn't alone. There were other swans with him. Alice was thrilled to see that Lulu had made some new friends. She wanted to tell the staff about Lulu's return but couldn't bring herself to do it. She had grown so fond of Lulu over the months and didn't want anyone else to disturb him. So, she got back to her work, keeping an eye on Lulu and his companions from afar. But after some time, she noticed that Lulu was gone. She couldn't believe it. She had missed her chance to spend time with him. Feeling guilty, Alice decided to visit Lulu's home, the ecological garden. But when she got there, the staff informed her that Lulu and his companions had left for the north a few days ago. Alice couldn't help but blame herself for not informing the staff earlier. If she had, they might have been able to give Lulu a proper send-off. She felt a twinge of sadness as she realized she may never see Lulu again, but she knew that he would always hold a special place in her heart. 2 years had passed since Alice had taken over running her family's fish pond. She had done a great job, and other fish farmers in the village were envious of her success. Although she was happy with her accomplishments, she couldn't help but regret that Lulu, a little gray duck she had grown attached to, had never returned. With the business stable, Alice decided to take a trip to Fujian with her classmates to explore the possibility of expanding the market for their fish. However, just 2 weeks after she left, she received a call from her parents saying that many of the fish in the pond had died. She immediately returned home to find that the pond had been overrun with duckweed and black swans. But there was a more pressing issue at hand, which was how to deal with the duckweed. In the end, she decided to introduce grass carp and crucian carp to the pond, so that Lulu and its friends could help get rid of the duckweed. A few days later, the duckweed had disappeared, and Alice was relieved. However, one day, a black swan broke into her house, and she knew something was wrong. She followed the swan to the pond and found Lulu lying on the ground, groaning in pain, with a large bag of bait scattered around. Alice quickly contacted the staff of the eco park and asked them to treat Lulu. It wasn't until later that she realized that the pond had been eutrophicated, and she suspected that someone had deliberately done it. She contacted the police, and after several days of investigation, they discovered that a merchant named Mike had been holding a grudge against her and her family. He had deliberately eutrophicated the pond and injured Lulu. In the end, Mike was punished for his actions, and Lulu would have returned north after its injury, but it would return to Alice's pond every winter to see her. It's a heart-wrenching story, but it shows the determination and resourcefulness of Alice and the importance of protecting our environment and the animals in it. Click to subscribe for more exciting stories like this one. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button and share this story with others. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when the next story goes live. See you again.